Our fourth speaker, Professor Arman from Bacoor Agricultural University of Indonesia. Arman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me first thank Dr. Abdul Waheed and UNESCO for inviting me to this very important conference. As the former rector of Bacoor Agricultural University, I would like to share with you my views on how the university could contribute to peace, education, and take part in the conflict resolution programs, especially coming from developing countries. I think the mission of the university is to educate students for better perception and open mind toward peace and peaceful living, and the student will be equipped intellectually, academically, culturally, and emotionally to understand and to appreciate differences. The student will get soft skills and leadership training. They are very important for their character building to develop peaceful and prosperous nation. And the student also must develop the value system in their mindset and provide opportunity for the student to interact with the society through the community services, field practices, internship programs in the community. So the university leadership should be able to set up policy to put this program into the curriculum or extra curriculum. That university also must provide necessary infrastructures, such as a good example for during my period as a rector, to establish a dormitory. So it's a multicultural center where this place has been used as compulsory for 1 year. Dormitory programs for the new 3,000 students, freshman students. So they have to live together in the multicultural environment. And university also must develop research and extension programs. As such, they are able to innovate new invention and technology to conduct an outreach activities to alleviate poverty, empower the community, and eventually solve the conflicts that exist in the community. So, university established cross-discipline centers for conflict resolution studies. That's what we did in the last 7 years. University also developed materials for media based on their studies and research outputs and used them as the materials for teachings and also for extension programs. So our university applied the e-learning programs, established the e-library. Also, we have the distance education in cooperation with Texas A&M University since 2006. Another important point is to develop the networking with various stakeholders from community, NGOs, the government, private sectors, and international communities in order to establish a sustainable program to resolve the conflict. So university must be able to function as a locomotive for nation development by implementing what's so-called university-led development strategy. One of the most important key factors for development, especially in the developing countries, is peace. So development without peace will not be able to sustain and be able to will be counterproductive and self-destructive to the result of the development itself. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. For our fifth speaker, we have the privilege to have Nick Dituku, who is a PhD candidate from Kenya, studying at West Virginia University as a Rotary International Fellow.
I'll first start by saying that if ICT and media is going to be used as a tool for the message of peace, then universities must spearhead this particular strategy. The onus is on universities, therefore, to model the use of ICT and general media. I'll start by saying, sort of sharing my experience as part of an international network of universities that have been brought together courtesy of Rotary International. I was sort of inducted to the network last year when I came to Dubeauclard University last year to undertake a professional development course in conflict and peace studies. One of the things that really impacted me was to study conflict resolution and peace within an international network. This was a big improvement from my previous experience at the University of Nairobi master's program on the same, which brings me to the points I would like to make in regard to the discussion at hand. The study of peace and conflict resolution cannot be done in isolation, especially considering that we're talking about ethnic and dialogue across civilizations. So you cannot sort of undertake such a study seriously if, for example, you're doing it at the University of Nairobi, you don't have any contact with similar programs elsewhere in the world. So for me, the first point, important point becomes that ICTs should be harnessed in such a way that programs, similar programs, are able to share information, like Mr. Edward said earlier, curriculum and syllabus. Then secondly, there is need for utilization of this particular platform to disseminate research findings. And a good example of a university that is doing this very well would be the University of Uppsala, that has such a platform called Uppsala Conflict and Data Program. And the reason why I know this is because of being drawn out of the comfort cocoon and being drawn up into an international setting. The other thing that I would like to mention about the use of ICT is the exchange of faculty. Like, again, some of the speakers here have said, there is need for faculty across the globe to compare what they're doing in the universities. And thirdly, there is need for universities to get involved to moderate, to have a moderating effect on other contributions. I think somebody mentioned yesterday about citizen reporting and citizen journalism. And the question was, in one of the sessions yesterday, how do you, separate the good from the bad? Because the media is sort of a double-edged sword. Some people abuse it to encourage the development of stereotypes and such things. So, for me, therefore, the university participation in using these tools would be, to be able to define the agenda authoritatively because of the independence and sort of academic disinterestedness. Because when you do research, you're doing it from an angle of neutrality. What has been done, like I mentioned, Uppsala University, huge database where they post research findings and also undertake an international media monitoring of conflict situations around the world. I think I'll stop at that.
Thank you very much.